Hello, my dear friends. I hope you're doing well. Today, I'd like to discuss about one of the important topic in the psychology, especially in the recent years, called mindset. Mindset introduced by Dr. Carol Dweck, and it's one of the important topic and can change our life without any doubt. And in this video, I'd like to talk about it and provide you insight about different types and which of them is more suitable. And finally, by the end of this video, you have a comprehensive insight about this concept. Let's get started. First of all, I'd like to talk about what a mindset really is. Mindset is how we see ourselves, abilities, and the world around us. I can tell you this point that how we interpret the failures, the successes, how we respond to them. For example, you are the person when you encounter any problem or obstacle, you will stop or you try to learn something from that obstacle, from that failure. So this is the mindset. So I like to talk about growth mindset and fixed mindset is one of the common topic that's discussed in so many videos, and I'm not exception as well because it's the most important topic in my perspective in my video, but I will provide you more mindset as well that these are so important and based on the studies and some videos from Dr. Andrea Huberman, Dr. Carl Dweck, Dr. David Yeager, and their interview, and Dr. Elliot Crumbs, but not very completely. But I try to capture all of this information, summarize, and provide you the best as I can. So, about growth mindset and fixed mindsets. Growth mindsets and fixed mindset are two important concepts. Let me talk about fixed mindset first. Fixed mindset means that people consider this mindset as their abilities and their skills are fixed. For example, they are born with that and they cannot be learned. They just avoid failures. They prefer to perform easy tasks in order to not disturb their self-image. They work based on labels. Okay, you're intelligent, you're smart, not based on effort or progress. But in contrast, growth mindset means that abilities and skills are not fixed. They can be improved over time by effort, by learning, by persistence. And the people with growth mindset try to embrace the challenges, try to learn something from the failures. They believe that effort is the most crucial part for progress, rather than the fixed mindset people who consider that effort is unuseful and they shouldn't try because they already have this ability, they already have this skill, but they never have progress. This is really crucial. So, which of this is better? Of course, growth mindset is better because the way of thinking about the failures, success, progress, all of them are much better than fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is about the people who don't want to try because they see try and effort as something ridiculous. But in contrast, growth mindset all the time try to learn and improve themselves. So it's really Dr. Carol Dweck emphasized about the power of yet, and they implemented this plan in so many schools, and they got very great result about the students. So power of yet means that instead of saying, for example, I cannot do this, we can say, I cannot do this yet. We are just adding yet, and maybe it's weird for you, but just adding yet at the end of the sentences can have a huge impact on us because it's actually is opening a door for progress. What does it mean? It means that you took a step toward your progress. So when we have use yet in our sentences, it means that we are focusing on process, we are focusing on progress. It doesn't mean that we reach to the end point and there is no other point and just that it finished and we were disappointed. It's about the progress. Okay, you just took a step toward your progress. That's it. So power of yet is really powerful. Don't underestimate these sentences because unconsciously it impacts us and it opens a door for progress. Now we come across to a real important question: effort or talent? It was supposed to be that people with talent would be more successful than people without talent. But this is not actually true. This is based on the science and based on the study. Effort is something that actually plays the most important part. People like Dr. Einstein or Dr. Isaac Newton, all of them, even with talent, they tried so hard. They spent practicing for so many years until that consequences gain. Okay? So based on the studies, based on the science, effort plays a crucial role, and hard working helps us to develop skills and being master over time. So without spending time, without practicing, without learning something, the progress won't happen actually, even if we have talents. So the problem with the fixed mindset is they see learning as weakness. They see learning as something ridiculous. But growth mindset people consider effort as a crucial part for their progress, for their future. And of course, the pain, the practice, the effort that we are putting for learning something is the actual thing that should be happen through the growth. One of the new founding in science that in my perspective changed the way of thinking about stress is reframing stress. Reframing stress is really crucial and it's somehow new in the psychology and it can change our life as well. In so many videos, in so many articles, in different websites, what we see about stress is something harmful for our body, for our healthy, for our immunity system. Okay? But here we see that we have different mindset about stress and how we see stress and our response to that behavior, to the action that we want to implement and perform. So it's really important that do we see stress as something harmful or do we see stress as a performance fuel? It's crucial. What I am telling you that stress is not inherently bad. I already recorded another video about stress and I talked about this a lot, but here as just a summarization, we don't want to dive into it. But stress, especially the short-term stress is not only bad for us, it's actually boosting our performance and focus on the thing that we are going to do. It's actually boosting our performance and concentration to perform that task. So stress is debilitating mindset. If you see stress as harmful, so it would diminish your performance while you want to do something. But if you consider stress as enhancing mindset, it means that you consider stress as a performance fuel so you would have better performance. Consider this point. I'd like to tell you one more time that short-term stress is not bad. Short-term stress is boosting your performance. But something that is really bad for your healthy and immune system is long-term stress that I already recorded and I put it on the card in this video. Just like how we see stress, the language and how we talk with ourselves is really important and influence our behaviors. So, as an example, just instead of saying that I'm terrible at doing something, just tell yourself that I am improving myself for doing something. Okay, for example, I'm terrible in painting. Okay, I'm trying to improving how I paint instead of just telling the negative things to yourself. Some people are struggling about the negativity and positivity. It doesn't mean about being positive all the time. Mindset is about to have a truth mindset, about a truth perspective, about adaptation, about growth. So it doesn't mean to be positive all the time. It means just to have the right behavior with ourselves. So language, how we talk with ourselves and how we see the problems and the challenges, it influences our response to those. So it's just like a stress. And another point that I was shocked when I was studying and watching those videos was about the role of praise. So many people, including me, consider that if you praise somebody, you're actually encouraging them. Okay, for example, I see my friend and he did something really great, and I talk to him and say, for example, you're smart, you're intelligent. This is actually label-based praise. When I do something like this, he would have a fear of failure. So my praise, if it's based on labels, that would lead to failure, because the next time when he wanna do the same thing, he considered that, okay, I'm smart. When he couldn't do that, so he considered, oh, I'm not smart anymore. So we have to avoid praising by labels. In the long term and over time, it diminishes the performance of that person. So instead of saying you're smart, you're intelligent, this is the way of praising intelligence. We have to praising effort. You did great. You had a lot of progress. You improved so well. I saw how much effort you put in to do that task. So we have to try to praising based on effort, based on progress, rather than just labeling. And praising efforts finally lead to persistence and resilience, in contrast with praising intelligence, which provide us failures. So growth-oriented praise means that instead of focusing on results, we have to focus on progress. So praising effort exactly leads us for this purpose, in contrast with praising intelligence. Another important part is about supportive environments and leadership that I see in so many companies. And unfortunately, they won't consider all of these points. Type of leadership approach is protector mindset, enforcer mindset, and balanced leadership. Protector mindset means that shield people from challenges. Something that would happen is weaken the resilience, so they won't growth anymore if the leader has protector mindset. Another mindset is enforcer mindset. It means that the leader demands very high standards but doesn't provide any support. Leads to failure and fear of the failure. So enforcer mindset is demanding high standards without support. And balanced leadership is that the combination of challenges and support. So the leader encourages the employees to grow and accepting the challenges, but in this moment, but while he or she is supporting them. So criticism without support is unuseful. The thing that I see in so many unfortunate leaders, and they actually finally reduce the performance of the employees. But if they expose to challenges and consider that those challenges are useful for their growth and the leader supporting them, so something amazing would happen. Another amazing part, another amazing category, and this is another type, is contribution versus self-interest mindset. Self-interest mindset is about the people who only seek personal benefits, personal rewards. But contribution mindset is about the people that find motivation in helping others. And the studies shows that contribution-driven mindset people are more happier, more resilient, and finally they have long-term success rather than the people with only having self-interest mindset. It doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice yourself for all of the people. This means that it's better to have the mindset like this. Instead of just saying that, what can I get? We can say, how can I help? When we are helping but consider ourselves and other people, it leads us to be more happier than just only focusing on self-interest. So I don't mean just to ignore yourself. I don't mean to devoting yourself for all of the people. I mean that consider something like system. Consider that other people as well, not just yourself. It can lead you to be more happier when you find motivation in helping others and helping yourself. So guys, let's have a very brief review. Mindsets is about how we see ourselves, abilities, failures, successes, and how we interpret them. And Growth mindset and fixed mindset, they assume that the abilities and the skills are fixed and they won't be changed anymore, and effort is something ridiculous and unuseful. They prevent to expose any challenges because they don't want to disturb their self-image. But growth mindset is focusing on the effort and learning process because they believe that this is real based on the studies. The power of yet, instead of saying that I cannot do this, we can say I cannot do this yet. Yet opens the door for progress rather than only a final result. Studies show us that effort plays a crucial and significant role in our success, and even with talent, so many years should be spent for mastering any skill. So effort is much more crucial than talent. Reframing stress is about how we see stress. It influences how we respond to it, and especially our behaviors in the society and in our family and in business and other aspects. Stress is debilitating mindset. If we see stress as something harmful, it would diminish our performance. But if we stress as something that can boost our performance, it can lead us for better results. So how we see stress impacts our actions, behaviors, and response to stress. So language as another aspect is again another important part, that how we talk with ourselves, it influences how we behave and how we act. So we consider the words that we are telling to ourselves and don't forget about self-compassion. About the praise, we should avoid praising based on intelligence, based on labels. You are smart, you are intelligent. In the future, they will diminish their performance. We have to praising effort, the progress, rather than the result. So growth-oriented praise means that we have to focus on progress rather than the result. Supportive environment and leadership, about different mindset for leadership. We have to consider that a good leader should have balanced leadership, exposing challenges and encourages the challenges, but of course supporting the employees, not prevent them, not about the productor mindset, not prevent them from challenges, demanding very high standards without support. He or she provides both to be a good leader. And contribution versus self-interest. Self-interest people are seeking only personal rewards, but contribution find motivation in helping others. And we have to consider that contribution mindset without hurting ourselves is really crucial, because the studies show us that people with contribution driven mindsets are more resilient, happier, and have more long-term successes. Okay, I hope you enjoy, my friends, and I like to emphasize this point one more time, that this video is really crucial and based on the newest information in this scope, and from Dr. Andrew Huberman, Dr. David Yeager, Dr. Carol Dweck, and Dr. Elliot Crumbs. And I hope that you found it helpful and change your life. See you guys. Love you. Bye bye.